Greetings, fellow ancients. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to episode 35 of the Vaultures, which originally streamed live on Twitch. Before I get started, I want to go over some tiny changes that I've made. Maybe not so tiny, it really depends on how you analyze it. So I felt like we were getting really comfortable, and the challenge wasn't really there. So I went to add more mechanoids, which is an Orion mod which introduces additional mechanoid types, and then also change the storyteller from Perry Persistent, which was on Blood and Dust, to Alfred Ancient losing his fun, who ramps threat up over time. This might get a little nutty, but I like a little nutty. So to briefly recap last stream, we sent Zayla, which is why Zayla's out here, to a resource site to steal some stuff. She did get hurt a little, but she's on her way home with some lovely material. We have Noob and Kilgore removing weakness and adding superpowers in the pods, and I'm going to change a little bit of the way we decide how to add and remove powers. We did have a ridiculously horrible insect infestation in the base, and as a result of that, we had to rebuild the slingshot. The mod updated to give you a slingshot drop-off point. So now you can pick where the slingshot materials drop, which is cool because it's been smushing our launch box. I'm just going to call it a launch box. And yeah, that's where we're picking up. So yeah, just to reiterate, the changes, difficulty has been increased. The storyteller has been changed to Alfred Ancient instead of Perry Persistent. Perry Persistent does more events. Alfred Ancient does a slow ramp up of harder events. And then introduction of the more mechanoids, which I'll cover when we see them. It introduces 5 new mechanoids that are sort of specialized for murdering, well, us, I suppose. So welcome all. Pleasure to have you all here. So we're picking up the research is molecular analysis in order to get immuno enhancer, but basically the research tree is just about done. There's not really any significant worthwhile stuff left in there. Oh right, I lost the workshop as well. And then Aggro is making cataphract armor and locust, or cataphract helmets and locust armor. So that is the current queue, hoping to get well armored, which is going to be necessary if the difficulty is going to stay ramped up. So, should be a good time. We also have some climate adjusters out here. Hey, buddy. And the climate adjusters might need, well, adjustment by us if we want to knock them offline or not. That could be left up to you. What we work on next. And as you can see up top, the priority here is just to steal loot. So Zayla's almost home. And generally speaking, I wait about 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the stream to pick new choices. So here Zayla is coming in with some LMG bruises, but otherwise successful in the theft. Oh man, what is going on in the feed? Chelsea and Guero, thank you for the bits. Car Fashion, thank you for the gifted sub. I Love Trees for the 5 subs. And Addy, Matt, or Sven, I should at this point just call you Sven, Alex, and Icarus, thank you for the resubs. Welcome. And cheers. Ooh, good. A social fight. Yep, those are always useful. Aggro has the magical ability of healing others instantly. But yeah, I'm not too worried about that. I don't think. What I am going to do is launch some additional supplies to see if the slingshot spot works. So let's go ahead with, say, 500 gold. And Stutach, thank you for the gifted sub. To the Dumb Hunter. That's a good name. Alright, Aggro is getting patched up with way high quality meds. And I'm gonna just force heal Zayla, so Zayla's 100%, using up those superpowers. Awesome. So, Thomas is in here for a 5.5 day bioregeneration. Noob is going to pop out in 12 hours, and then Kilgore in 17. Kilgore is removing a superpower, and Noob is adding one. What I will try to do is, just like last stream, run predictions for at least some of the pods, so that if you're in a country that allows for gambling, more or less, we can go do that. Alright, let's reset bed rest. Nobody is currently sick. And Anonymous, or Anon, thank you for the bits. And Nitro, one of my newest patrons. Thank you for the bits as well. Stutach for the gifted sub. And, yeah, you guys are far too kind. I'm excited to see some of the new mechanoids. So it introduces some cheaper mechanoids that are sort of like Mega Scarabs. They're spammy and they attack a lot, but they also introduce some shielded mechanoids and some really tough ones to kill. Possibly tougher than centipedes. So that ought to be fun as well. Is the uptime broken? Man, I keep fixing it and it keeps breaking. I hate daylight savings. I really hope that the US just does away with daylight savings, because it is not fun to have to adjust clocks twice a year. Yeah, it is. This time it's not daylight savings fault. It is actually my fault. Yeah. All right, I think I fixed it. Yeah. All right, it's working. Working. Well, I guess if the solar flare is on and we're so the just to make it clear what's going on here, during solar flares, all the stuff that is ancient gets powered on for free, which means I could even just kill the chem fuel power generators because they don't really need to be running, but I'm gonna leave them. But I changed the network that these hydroponic basins are set up at, so that they stay powered on when the power, or when the solar flare terminates. Because there's not much to do in this base. When the power is off, we're just going to be hauling corpses. Why do we stock the corpses up? I really couldn't tell you. Just something we want to do, I guess. I sort of like the sparse, almost artless base that we've got going, because I've been thinking about maybe trying to get the jade. I guess the jade could be good for the sarcophagi, possibly, but I definitely prefer not having statues everywhere. It's definitely preferable to not have like an art colony. Jade flooring? There's no such thing as jade flooring in default RimWorld. You need a mod for that. All right. Well, hopefully we get the power back on soon, because Thomas is just sitting here and an interrupted bio... Oh, there it goes. And an interrupted biopod. Noob is about to pop out, and so the way I'm going to do it is every time that there's a choice between removing powers or adding powers or something like that, what I will do is I will pull you all, and then if the owner of the character actually responds, I'll go with the owner's response. And that way we're not delayed. We're only delayed 60 seconds each time. It seems more reasonable to me. No way to... I mean, I know I have 2 TVs in here, but there's no way to get a better coverage, I suppose. Without changing the layout. Alright, glitch. I do believe... Alright, let's start dyeing the clothing, and then I'm going to have you all vote on a new priority. There's a lot to do. There are quest sites, and there are some old quests. And then there's also just focusing on crafting and the like, trying to get better locust armor and cataphract helmets or weapons. All right, here we go. Noob has finished. So I am going to read this off. Noob can take Masterful Craft, which increases craft stuff by a quality of 2 levels. I actually don't recall Noob's crafting skill, so I don't know if that's actually useful. I don't have that kind of memory. And then Immature, majority of mental breaks or tantrums, or Electrical Blast, but becomes Callous. So what should be, or what option to take? Here we go. I'll give you 60 seconds to vote on that, and then if Noob himself answers, we can go with Noob's choice. So this is, the Electrical Blast jumps from mechanoid to mechanoid, or human to human. So for humans, it will burn them, and for mechanoids, it will stun them. And Callous is like, kind of like Psychopath, where they just kind of don't care about the things that happen. See what you guys want. Watch Noob have like a ridiculously high crafting skill or something. That would be, I don't believe that's the case. I think like Arclight was the other crafter or something like that, but it has been 2 weeks and I don't have that memorized. And it does look like we're going with option number 2. So Callous is a downside because there's a lot of positive things that could happen, like chit chat, deep talk, that kind of stuff that you won't benefit from. And success. So let's see. Yeah, he was a crafter 1. I think we made the right choice. I do think we made the right choice. Who should be chosen for the next pod cycle? Not all of these choices are allowed, by the way, because Aggro and Icarus? Yes, Aggro and Icarus are done and cannot be modified at this point. But everybody else is legit. So you can pick between those two. I'm just going to ignore votes for Aggro and Icarus, as they are not valid. Alright, we're trying to get everybody in their desired clothing colors, which is kind of annoying because they keep changing what they're wearing. But nobody has forced clothing right here yet, so should be fine. Alright, so Arclight indeed was one of the crafters, but not one that was assigned. It was Eric. Got it. So if you're curious, and I'll just cover this real quick, Arclight is the trigger-happy, bloodlusted shooter with marksmanship, but also unsure, so aiming time is doubled. And then we've got Eric with just overshield, no weakness. Kellyan with weapon experts, which makes shooting much faster. Martial artists, so they can't be punched, but unstable. Psychic sensitivity gone up. Icarus is done. Glitch is unstable and also easily bored. Master Hacker, who can go invisible. Shaken can summon lightning and regains recreation if alone in a room, but is extremely flammable and susceptible to cold. Zayla has a plasteel skeleton, so broken bones and cracks to bones don't happen and can go invisible, but it's easily enraged. Kieran is also a loner that can summon fireballs, but gets recovering from sickness very, very slowly. That doesn't so much matter, of course, because we have Biosculptor pods, and then aggro is done. So, cast your votes, and then I'm going to cast what kind of cycle that you guys want. And then after that, I will poll for priorities and figure out what you want me to do most. All right, Kilgore. Cycle has been successful. And we managed to remove the unsure, which doubles the aiming time, and that was done. Looks like Arclight's going in. And what cycle to run? So again, Arclight is unsure and has marksmanship. And I'll just give you 60 seconds here. And then we'll do a prediction once we know the percent values. Alright, I think that our rainbow army is now fully dyed. Oh, no. You just keep changing shirts, don't you now? You love the soundtrack? I'm glad you love it. I spent a unusually long amount of time trying to put it together, so I'm glad that it is benefiting the series. And it looks overwhelmingly like we are going to remove power, or remove weakness rather, off of Arclight. So we'll pop Arclight in. Ever launched the gold? No, but it hasn't been loaded either. 40% chance of failure. Running it now. So, prediction. Will Arclight's gene tailoring succeed? Yes or no? Give you 5 minutes on that. And who else should be chosen for a cycle? So this here is the next person for a cycle, of course. Option 1 and option 8 cannot be done, as there's nothing for them to do. We also have shelter for Toad. High Chief is asking us to shelter someone, and I'll have you vote on this after this poll is done. There's a lot of tasks to run, isn't there? Much to do. How expensive would that be? 2K? I think it's worth it. That's like all of our steel. I'll maybe have you vote on that too, because it's literally all of our steel. I can start getting more steel in case we want a hex tile. So this is for who should get gene tailored. And, ooh, a hydrate and a puppy treat. So as a quick review, here, let me put Zayla in the order. So Zayla is easily enraged as a weakness, meaning that anyone slides her, she fights. And already has plasteel skeleton and invisibility. We've been using that invisibility quite a lot. Quite a lot. Zayla could use a fresh pair of jeans. Dehydrate is a treat. It's my treat. Yeah, as long as I have coffee by my side. Absolutely. Alright, Mr. Pyromaniac, I have a quick job for you. We have a rather large pile of corpses out here, and you like burning things, so... Okay, Zayla, what cycle did you run? Add or remove power. Some of these corpses could have been stripped for resources, but whatever. I don't think we need the resources that bad. In fact, Shaken, summon the lightning. Destroy your corpse in particular. Because I have no chill. Alright, I'm going to load some more gold up and uranium. I'm really curious to see it. Well, I'm sure this slingshot drop-off spot works. There's also a new mod on the workshop that allows you to send material using slingshots from slingshot to slingshot, in case you have two bases and you want to transfer between them. So, just to let you know that exists, I guess. Killian, what's irking you? Oh, we murdered your mother. Yeah, that happens, dude. That does happen. Hey, Nitro League, thanks for the gifted subs. And cheers. According to my Steam stats, I've been like live for 30 seconds. That makes me worried. There's like some errors in the background. What are the two climate adjusters? I actually don't know if they're going up or down. It just says shifting, right? So one's guarded by a mech cluster, one's guarded by 5 alpha beavers. And they've been around a long time, and I've been ignoring them the entire long time. Perhaps we go out there. We're going to actually be voting on what cycle to do, or what next priority to do soon. So Zayla's going to hop in this Gene Taylor pod. Looks like, oh, it just tied up. Next person that votes. All right, looks like an ad power. Unless Zayla yourself has answered. Which, @tag me if that's the case. All right, in this case, we're going to add power. So, 20% chance of failure. In you go. So, what should I work on? Or what should the priority be? So we have clearing the climate sites. So we have 2 climate sites here. We have ancient complexes, which can be good for loot sometimes. We've got going to a vault. There's not really much that we're looking for in a vault, but, you know, we can always go to vaults. There's 2 vaults on the map tile. There is also a bandit camp. Attack a settlement. Or viewer suggestions. And I would open up the suggestion box for all of you to vote. So here's a 5-minute timer, and you can decide what we do next. Icarus, how are you idle? This is, really strange, because the research benches are just sort of sitting here. And he's not using them. That makes me slightly worried. The microanalyzer is indeed connected. Oh. It is... No, it's connected to both. Oh, no, I guess it isn't. This is sort of a bad layout, so I'm going to actually fix this layout. Oh, now it's... What? I don't know what's going on. So this one is, no, this high-tech research bench. Yeah, all right, let's just fix this. Oh, build copy. Thank you. Aggro will get this done in moments. And we'll go back to artificial metabolism. No, I had a research priority. I had artificial metabolism selected. It was just doing what it does best, which is to be weird. That's a better layout anyway, because it opens up the room a bit. So, preferable. And there we go. Now they're researching. A supply drop came in. And it landed here. Cool slingshot drop-off spot, bro. Seems like you need a prototype test it a little bit better than what you did. Just a little bit better. Because, yeah, you missed and you broke my wall. Oh boy. Might have a radius? I mean, yeah, it could. I don't think it does. But it could. Here, I'll stick it way the heck out here. I'm also just going to clean up some of the bile and nastiness around the base. Because we do have a lot of idle people. So, might as well have it look nice. Glitch is on his gourmand, I want to eat everything kick, which is what he does. Kieran, I'm going to have you hack the junk. The pipeline. Oh, I saw some flirting. And then up here, this was not just for random stuff. This was for the serums. So, heal and res serum will be here. And I don't know what we're putting on this one, but I'm going to find something worthwhile to plop there. Maybe the artifacts. Cool. It looks like, I'm just going to call this poll early. It looks like clearing the climate sites is the priority. Alright, Guero. I'm going to send you to one of them with a breach axe. And Noob, I'm going to send you to the other, but I'm going to... You know what? I can't make a breach axe because I don't have a workshop. So Noob, you... Guero, go grab your monosword again. And Noob, you grab the breach axe. Alright, let's say 5 meals, 100 kibble, meds. Alright, out we go. Go clear the climate sites. Uko, thank you for the resub. And welcome. And Tox. Hey, Tox. Thank you for the resub as well. Oh man, that's a lot of months. Alright, out they go. Noob to 1, who is an electricity blast, Callus, Plasteel Sklar, and Guero, who's a laser eyes, fireball, extremely flammable and toxic intolerant. I'm probably gonna have Guero go. I think I already set it up. Guero's going to the Alpha Beaver. But let me double check. Yeah, Guero's going to the Alpha Beaver, and we're sending Noob to the other one. I'm just going to research at random. At this point, I'm not really using the research that we're getting, so it doesn't really matter to me. And then these two need to be set on travel meals so that they eat while they're out there. I should have done that before they left. Going to put 2.5 minutes on that timer for the hex tiles. The other thing is I could finally steel tile up more of the base as well, as we are mining steel, and that wouldn't be a bad thing to do either. So I'm going to start that. This will be steel tiles for these bedrooms. And then as we get that done, maybe steel tiles for the entire workshop. Raising its impressiveness. It won't really matter because the chem fuel power generator is really ugly. So unless we isolate the chem gens, it's never going to be all that nice. But it could be nicer, I guess. I'm surprised Aggro hasn't yet made, you know what? Don't doctor, don't warden. Just work on smithing. Yeah, I was going to say I'm surprised he hasn't actually made any armor yet. So they are resting. And we'll get those sites cleared. We've got 1 day left on Arclight, a day and a half on Zayla. So those predictions have already been cast. We do have mend armor. So this mend armor is... for just armor? Let me also do a mend apparel. So this will be any apparel from 55, 0 to 55, and I'll say excellent plus, that is clean. We will mend. Because we have some button-down shirts that are shredded, and we can fix them up with a little bit of cloth, or whatever material they're made out of. Nothing makes a bedroom as cozy as steel floors. You know, I bet steel floors are... I mean, if they're heated, if they have heating coils underneath, not so bad. They would also, depending on how thick the steel is, retain heat throughout the day, like stone. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't be so cold. Plus, we're always in boots, so we never feel the floor anyway. Or, I don't know. Maybe we're not in boots. I have no idea what actually comes equipped with the cat armor. Alright, so it looks like you guys do want me to hex tile the ritual room. Fancy. We'll get that going. It's going to be a lot of material. And it's going to piss everybody off. Well, actually, surprisingly enough, I'm not getting the room has been violated error that you would normally expect. Cataphract armor comes with bunny slippers. I believe it. Nothing says dominance like stomping your enemies with bunny slippers on. That sounds very much like Buffy the Vampire Slayer to me. Alright, Aggro. Here is a cat helmet. Oh, and a cold snap. Which is fine. The climate adjusters that I'm knocking offline actually might be kind of a bad thing. Ooh, a legendary cat helmet. Aggro already is wearing one, so this will go to someone else, but that is awesome. There's 4 and 5. Fib mech for Kilgore, Icarus, one of the guests, and Kieran. So this, of course, is painful, but makes us even more super. Fine by me. Alright. This climate adjuster is raising the temperature by 10 degrees. I'm sure the other climate adjuster is doing the same, which is kind of funny because the cold snap that just snapped, when we destroy these climate adjusters, it's going to get rather cold up in here. So we're kind of heading in the wrong direction, I think. Well, whatever. So Icarus, were you the one that put that on? No, you have a good one. Glitch, put it on. Okay. I can get behind that. Protect your, your pretty ponytails. Crocs and socks are even better for war? Yeah, nothing says trench foot quite like Crocs and socks. Alright, that one's done. And... there is an ostrich that I might try to bring home. Where'd it go? Here's the iguana. How about I just click on the wildlife tab? Where are you, ostrich? You're just south of me. Alright, so that site, easy peasy, no problem at all. And on the way back. This mech cluster is a big joke. Most mech clusters are, but here's a crawler. Oh, so here's an example of more mechanoids. So crawler is a bug-like robot, not particularly sturdy, but they're fast. As you can see, they move at 7, which is very fast. And they have teeny plasma cutters, allowing them to cut through metal like butter. So, they don't do a lot of melee, but they have a lot of armor pen, I think, is what that means. Yeah, they're sort of like robotic mega scarabs that shred. And another food binge. Oh, your second food binge in 30 minutes. Good. I love gourmand. For those that do not know, gourmand is one of my least favorite traits, because it is obnoxious. So Noob has cleared this site. There are boomalopes here, but there's not a really good way for Noob to kill a boomalope, I don't think. We'll try electricity blast. But that's not likely to work all that well, as you might see. Yeah, didn't really work. Oh, it did! The problem is how to kill you without getting it blown up in the face. I really can't, so I'm just going to leave this site. I could have grabbed the material, I suppose. What to do next? So there, Arclight and Zayla's out pretty soon. We have... here is 5 options. 1, bandit camp. 2, an ancient complex. 3, attack an enemy settlement. 4, go to a vault. 5, viewer suggestions. Something left up to you. I did an extra mend armor. Oh, yeah, well, this one's for claw... mend apparel. There we go. Yes. Sorry. Clean apparel. That is 0 to 55. And excellent to plus. Let's go masterwork plus. Only the best stuff gets mended. Basically, this shirt. Here, let me see if... oh, I don't even have material for it, because it's made out of plain leather. Is there a superpower that I hope to get? No, not really. I mean, I'll roll with whatever I get. There are some superpowers that I think would be cool for me to see, but I'm not going to hold my breath, because... that's just how chance works. I am going to be setting up a steel drug lab in case we want performance-enhancing drugs going forward. Changing priorities around so we do a little bit more construction, because the hex tiling of the ritual room is coming extraordinarily slow. And these bedrooms are becoming a little bit nicer. Like, marginally. Alright, Masterwork Helmet. And the way I have this is, I want, let's go with Masterwork Plus. I'm actually going to push for a Masterwork Plus for everybody. So the way it's working is I want to have 2 spare... I guess I could go with 1 spare. 1 spare helmet and 1 spare armor so that we can cycle through them through mending, which would be a very powerful tool. And Guero is already home with the rotted ostrich. Nope, wasn't rotted. It just looked rotted in the image. Oops. Alright, attack the settlement. We have a few options here. We can go wash and nozzle. Oh my god. What settlement to attack? Pirates. I'm just going to summarize. Pirates or rough outlanders. Oh, Arclight died. Again? I don't think he was supposed to. But we do have Resmec serum. The reason why I don't think he was supposed to is he got Trauma Savant. And generally when you get Trauma Savant, you're supposed to survive, but it did not succeed. And no, this was not due to a lack of power. I have power stored at the moment. But speaking of which, it wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to power down the things I don't need running. Can I restore his brain? Yes. Well, we have Resmec serum, so it would not be much of an issue to resurrect him. And I'll have you vote on that in a minute. I'll give you 60 more seconds for this poll, and then we can vote on whether we bring him back to life or not. Him, her, him. Looks like a bit of a runaway poll, so I'm going to say we're attacking pirates next. Should I res Arclight? Yes or no? So, now that Arclight's dead, you also have to consider that there's others to res too. There's Iscandia, who died. Macho, who died. Ranzik, and Sea Panda. They are all interned here in the frozen crypt of past ancients, and they're all valid res targets. So, we can either resurrect Arclight, add someone new from a vault, or res someone that is already dead, that had previously died. Hey Glitch, thanks for the bits, and welcome. And Megamac, thank you for the follow. I'll give you 60 seconds for that. So, if we're attacking pirates, the closest pirates would be Wash and Noozle, or maybe Terror Hill. Probably Wash and Noozle. Shouldn't I redefine the poll? Sure. What should I do with the 13th slot? So we're going to go with resurrect someone, recruit someone new. Actually, I don't really know how to... Or leave it empty. All right, there we go. That's redefined. So we can either res someone or leave it empty. and have you vote on that. And then if res someone does win, I'll have you vote on who to res. For now, I'm going to run the burial. In case of decay. And Noob Zone. Wow, that was a very delayed alert. I guess my alerts are kind of broken. I think that was the alert for Glitch's Bits, which came in like minutes late. All right, Go Juice is done. Let's get Fire Foam, I guess. Thomas should be popping out. Oh, 2 days? That's still a bit. And Zayla will be popping out 2 hours. And then I'll consider how we're going to attack the imposing building. Oh, I would love another Emanator or a legendary weapon. But no, we really can't do this without violating the rules. There was also Shelter for Toad that I know is overdue. But we still have 2 days left to decide on that. There's really no end goal. All the goals are, you can see just exclamation mark details. There's purposely sort of open-endedness. All right, Zayla, if you're here, you can decide. Looks like we're going to res someone, so I'm going to clear that. What choice or what option to take? So option 1 is self-control. When activated, immediately stop any mental breaks. This pawn is under the effect of, but gaining callous. Option 2 is laser eyes, but becoming psychologically deaf. And I'll give you 60 seconds to vote, unless Zayla overrides it. And she's not here, so I think it'll be left up to chat. Methinks you all want another laser eye. Great, so she's easily enraged, and I wonder if death will stop her from being slighted. But okay, this is such a runaway poll, I'll clear it. So there we are. This one was successful at least. All right, who resurrect? And while we vote on that, oddly, I'm going to do a Requiem for him. So we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options. I guess I could include Giant, too. Giants is the one that's very rotted, but technically should be okay. Give you 2.5 minutes on that. And it was a good Requiem. I'm going to build the wall back so they don't rot as easy. How many people with laser eyes? So Kilgore has laser eyes. Icarus has laser eyes. And Zayla has laser eyes. I think that's it. Oh, Guero 2, so 4. 4 laser eyes. Right, because Guero just used it. Fire foam is done. Colored lights. Noob with an inspired surgery. Nice. So the crate landed and gave me recon armor, I think. Oh, I don't, yeah, so this thing is, I don't know what this thing does, but it doesn't work. And advanced components. 21 advanced components are actually kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty awesome. Oh, here comes another one. And it gave me rocks. Sweet. One way for it not to, like, land in here would be for me to roof this up. And then it wouldn't target... Oh, there we go. Plasteel and gold. It wouldn't target this area as a result. So I'm going to try to do that when we're not using the transport pods, is just to roof them all up and trigger the supplies to drop outside instead. Because the loss of whatever was going to land in our base to just get destroyed is annoying, and I want that pattern to stop. Looks like we only need a few more cataphract helmets. We are rocking quite a lot of legendaries, which is awesome. And you all want Iskandi to be resurrected. So let's go ahead and do that before we wall this up. Thank you for tuning in to the Vaultures, which originally streamed live on Twitch, March 27th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com or the description of this video also has a link to Discord. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. Without you, well, I wouldn't be a content creator. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow Vaultures.